EdYoda, the end of your job search and the beginning of your dream career. EdYoda's live sessions are taught by industry experts, giving you hands-on experience and practical knowledge with real projects, not just degrees. EdYoda's industry-recognized certifications will help you stand out in the job market. And that's not all. With EdYoda's exclusive job board featuring 500+ companies, finding your dream job has never been easier. Say goodbye to endless job searching and hello to your dream career with EdYoda. Join EdYoda's student community today and start building your dream career.
Hi everyone, welcome to this workshop. I hope you all can hear me loud and clear. A quick check in the chat box. Let me know, are you able to hear me clearly or not? And welcome to EdYoda's YouTube channel. And I'm Rishabh Chatterjee. And we also have Anant here with us. Anant, a quick hi to our viewers.
Hey, hi. Hello everyone.
So again, let me know in the chat box if you're able to hear me clearly. So we'll begin this session at exactly 6 p.m. Just a few minutes to go. So if you want to invite your friends, if you want to share it in your WhatsApp groups, Telegram group, Facebook groups, anywhere, now is the right time before we start so that we all can learn together to share it. And if you haven't still clicked on the like button, now is the right time to do it. A quick click on the like button and do subscribe to the channel and press the bell icon so that you can see more workshops like this. So a quick first question to you all before we start with the technical part is that where are you all watching this live session from? I'll say first. So I'm doing this live session from Bangalore. Anant, where are you doing this live session from?
Yeah, I am too from Bangalore.
Okay, great. So we are both from Bangalore. Let's see where all our viewers are from. So feel free in the chat box. You can let me know your place. So we'll be having this workshop for 2 hours. That is, it'll begin at 6 p.m. and it'll go on for till 8 p.m. and we'll try to cover everything in Tableau. And anytime you have any questions, feel free to type your questions in the chat box, and we'll be having a dedicated Q&A session at the end so that Anant can answer all those questions for you. All right, great. I already see your answers in the chat box. So we'll quickly start, and let me tell you a little bit about Anant before he gives, I know he'll give his introduction, but I want to give a little bit introduction to you about Anant. All right, so Anant is a corporate trainer and he has 4 years of experience in training on data science and machine learning. And he has trained more than 1,000 industry professionals from Fortune 500 companies like Deloitte, EY, Genpact, and many more. So he has the industry knowledge. He has been working in the industry. And today we are fully confident that you will gain all the insights and everything that you need to know about Tableau. So I won't waste any more of your time. I'll hand it over to Anant. So over to you, Anant.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks, Rishabh. Hey, hi, hello everyone. Good evening once again. So a bit of introduction about me. As you might have already heard from Rishabh, that I'm a corporate trainer with around 4 years of experience. And I do train professionals as well as all kinds of capability learners, starting from freshers till experienced professionals. So yeah, that's about me. Okay, so in this journey of this data science training, I have trained more than 1,000 professionals, and in that process, I do training on data science and machine learning, so which is my area of interest and expertise. Okay, so yeah, so data visualization, coming to our topic of the interest and topic of discussion today. So we have a very quite a good of content to be covered in the next 2 hours. Okay, so let me quickly share my screen and let's quickly begin with our session. Yeah, so master Tableau and start your career as a data analyst or a data scientist, right? So when I say master Tableau, okay, so we are here to learn Tableau. I know that we want to know more about data visualization and stuff like that. But before directly starting on with the Tableau part, if I try to give a quick introduction or a quick background as in why Tableau is needed, why do we need data visualization in the first place? What is it that data visualization brings in different to data science field as a standalone field or a standalone this thing, right? So, yeah, so quickly, let's go to the agenda part. So, what are we going to focus on today? So, if you see, we have 10 items in our list to be covered. So, we'll be seeing about what is data visualization, okay, and then why data visualization is needed. Then, what are the popular tools available in the market for data visualization? Then we'll narrow down our approach or our focus to the main part, which is the Tableau. And then we'll understand why Tableau when we have a lot of tools available for data visualization. So why is it specifically that we want to go with Tableau? Then we'll understand the product suites of the Tableau that Tableau offers us. And then we'll be looking at what are the companies currently who are using Tableau and what benefit you will gain learning Tableau. Like we'll try to connect to the industry where Tableau is actually on ground being used for data visualization activities. So who should go for Tableau? Then design principles and visualizations. So we'll do some hands-on experience. We'll take some hands-on activities on Tableau software as well. And then we'll see some real-time use cases where actually how this Tableau comes into picture. Okay, so that is what we have as a part of the complete 2 hours structure. Okay, so moving on. So if I try to ask this question, that is, what is data visualization? So if you broadly try to look at the term, so it is having two terms in it. One is the data and the one is visualization itself. So when we separate out of these two terms, one is data and visualization. So we can just define it in a very basic term as in visualization on the data is called as data visualization, as simple as that, right? Now, if you want to get into more bookish definition, so we can see that visualization allows us to visual access to huge amounts of data in a easily digestible charts. Okay, now why this thing? Okay, now, if you might have observed in your day-to-day life, like if you gone through newspapers or if you have gone through any articles, okay, or blog articles, any news-related articles, any blog article for that matter, when there are some pictures in that blog articles, so it makes us visually attracting to read that, and we are hooked to continue to read that part. Okay, so similarly, let's take one more example. If we look at the COVID data, okay, a lot of data was generated, like which state is having the highest number of COVID cases, active cases, which state is having the least number of COVID cases. So this is all data that is being collected by some government organization. Now, if I want to draw quick insights from that particular data, then it becomes difficult in a tabular format. Let's say I am collecting data in a traditional Excel file or a table, any table, SQL table. So what happens there? The thing is, the data is available in the table, and there are millions and millions of rows to be analyzed. And from that millions and millions of rows, it becomes very difficult for us to come to a conclusion, as in what is this data trying to convey. Okay, so the process of converting that data, which is in a raw format, to some charts is what is visualization. So that is where the data visualization comes into picture. So in today's scenario, in the today's market, what we see is there is humongous amount of data getting generated on a day-to-day basis, on a day-to-day scale, right? So you look around yourself, a lot of data is getting generated. So converting that data into some visually appealing format, we call it as data visualization, right? So there is this data visualization is both art and science of creating charts. So like what chart to select, what are the different types of charts available for me. All that is a complete stuff that we have in data visualization, right? So if we also look at this second sentence, which is saying us that well-designed charts or visuals are the most simplest and the most powerful tool, right? So when we have a chart in front of us, chart ready in front of us, let's consider that government data of COVID. So if I create a bar chart, a simple line chart showing that which state is having the highest number of COVID cases. So in one single picture, I can show the complete story. I can tell my complete story that, okay, so this particular state is leading in the number of COVID cases. So similarly, you can think of applying this in multiple scenarios in our day-to-day field, right? So let's now, since we have understood that converting that whatever data that we have into some charts so that we can communicate easily our insights is called as data visualization. Why is data visualization needed? What is the importance of it? So to understand that better, so I have a thing for you. Okay, so on the left hand side of this slide, you can see some table, and on the right hand side, you can see some graph. So what I want you people to do now is focus only on the left hand part of the screen. So where I have the table. So if you look at the table has 4 sections. So section 1, 2, 3, and 4, right? Written in Roman numbers at the very top. And if you look at that, the sections, there are subsections there. So where I can see X, Y, X, Y, X, Y, and X, Y in each of the section, correct? And there are some values that are being recorded. So there are 10, 8, etc. And then you can see values like that being present in both X and Y column. Now what I do as a data analyst, since I am, I want to look at the data in a summarized way, in a summarized format. So what I do is I will consider this X as my, as a sales value, and this profit as my Y as my profit value. Okay. I'll think that X is sales and Y is profit. And in that matter, I will say this 1 as quarter 1. Okay. Let's say this is quarter 1. Okay. Q1. And this is quarter 2. This is similarly quarter 3 and quarter 4. So what I am trying to say is, so there is an organization, let's say a small organization, and they are looking at the sales and profit of a particular product for all the 4 quarters. Okay. Quarter 1, quarter 2, quarter 3, and quarter 4. Okay. So what I do next is, since I want to see the summary statistics, so I calculate the total, okay, the total sales. Okay. This is my sales. So I'll calculate the total sales here. And I calculate the total profit as well. So which I get to be 82.51. Similarly, I even calculate the average values. Okay. So I do this for all the quarters. Okay. For all the quarters, I am calculating. Now, what is an interesting thing that you can observe here is, if you look at the total values of sales and profit in all the 4 quarters, it comes out to be exactly same. Just observe the sum and the average values. So for all the 4 quarters, the data is telling me that the sales and profit is exactly same. There is no difference. Now this is very, this is something that has to be questioned out. So how can this sales and profit be same, constant across all the 4 quarters? So when I look at this data, okay, let's say what I do, I just go and I change this data into a proper visual format, something like this, a proper visual format. Okay, now what I see is that, okay, so in that matter, so this is Q1, which is quarter 1, this is quarter 2, quarter 3, and quarter 4. So sales, okay, sales, this is profit, let's consider. So sales and profit is plotted against each other. What I see is that story is completely different. Okay, the story is completely different. So when I tried to check for the average value and total values, the story was same. But when I came to data visualization, I realized that the story is completely different. So here I can see an linear increase, linear growth in the sales and profit. In the second quarter, I can see it increased in the initial few days or the few months, and then it started decreasing. Okay. And here again it is increasing, and here it is constant in the fourth quarter. So this picture or this story is missing in this part, which I call it as the total and the average part of that table. Okay, so it is completely missing. I cannot see anything like that. So hence it becomes difficult. Hence it becomes difficult to communicate anything when we have only statistics, when we rely only on statistics part. Okay, so we get something like this, and we are unable to communicate anything out of it. The same thing when we go for a data visualization, we can tell a story. Okay, we can see that how I am building that story. I was quickly able to realize that okay, in second quarter it increased and then it fell. In the fourth quarter, it was constant. There was no change in sales and profit, right? So that is how data visualization affects, or that is how that is what the impact of data visualization on data science as a field. So hence, it becomes very important that any technology or any company or any thing for that matter, wherever a data is involved, so to communicate the findings, to communicate the results, it becomes important that we take help of this most important tool that we have with us, which is called as data visualization. Okay. Now, since we have understood about what is data visualization and why do we need, so now we are completely convinced that okay, data visualization will definitely have an impact. Okay, in this data science or the data field. So we now want to understand. Okay, we now want to understand, as in, what are the popular tools for data visualization? Okay, how can I, since it is an important concept, so how can I visualize my data? And what are the things do I need to know, have some background to do the data visualization? Okay, so questions like that automatically arise. So popular tools, when I talk about the popular tools, so listed are the popular tools. You can see that Tableau, Looker, ClickView. Then this one here is a Google Data Studio. Okay, then you have Infogram, Sisense, Power BI, and Domo. So these are a few top, I can say, tools. But along with this, you have a complete list of other tools like Alteryx and other tools, so which are used for data visualization. Even data visualization can be performed on in Python, in coding languages like Python, R, or DS3, that is JavaScript, etc. Okay, D3.js, etc. So you can perform data visualization there also. But what is the advantage of these tools over the coding tools? The thing is, the biggest advantage is the tools that we have listed here do not require any coding knowledge. Okay, so that is the biggest thumbs up for these tools. Okay, even without any coding background, any programming knowledge, you can start using these tools right from day one. Okay, so you don't need anything as such. Okay, so moving on, let me just show you how these tools perform. Okay, how these tools are performing to one another in the recent years. Okay, so let me just show you this. Okay, so this is something called as Gartner's Magic Quadrant for most popular data visualization tools that we have in the market. So what I see here is in this, all the tools are considered as a part of whatever tools that we use for data visualization. And what I can see is that the total entire this thing is split up into 4 categories. So first one is leader, second one is challengers, and this one is niche players, and fourth one is visionaries. So now when I look at the graph, and when I look at this this leaders category, okay, so I can see that the two stand alone or the standout tools that we have is Microsoft Power BI, and first one, and the second one is Tableau. Okay, so Salesforce, Tableau, inside the bracket Tableau, right? So that is how the ranking goes. So you can see other tools like Google. Okay, you can focus on here, like there is a Google, there is a Domo, there is ClickView, and you have Amazon Web Services, IBM, SAS, okay, Zoho. So these are the top tools. and their ranks, how they are ranked based on the popularity. The thing that you have to notice here is that Microsoft and Tableau. Okay, now when we have Microsoft Power BI and Tableau as the leaders, then why specifically Tableau? Why the question comes in? Why Tableau? Why not Microsoft? Or why not any other Google Data Studio? Okay, so the answer is very simple. So this answer will be discovering the answer to the question in a bit in around another 10 or 15 minutes from now. Okay, so this is what the right now the tool or the market tool, how the data visualization tools are performing against each other. Okay, so let me just move on. Then what is Tableau? Right. So that should be the first question that I should have. What is Tableau basically? So when I say Tableau, so Tableau is a data visualization tool. So we have just now understood that. And it was created by Tableau software. And now that is owned by Salesforce. Right. So we can see that clearly. The second thing Tableau connects to nearly any data source, be it data warehouses, Microsoft Excel, or any web-based data. So the thing is, Tableau, I can define it as it is a data visualization tool where you can connect to data from any source, irrespective of the source. So be it an Microsoft Excel file, be it a web-based file, be it a CSV file, be it a tab separated values file, or any file for that matter, even a PDF file. Okay, so you can connect to even a PDF file using Tableau. So name any data source or name any data set type, the Tableau is ready to connect with it. So that is the power of Tableau. So you can connect to any data source. So the third point, which is telling us that Tableau spends, or the Tableau allows the users to spend more time on data analysis and less time on data wrangling. Okay, so this is the most important point when it comes to selecting a tool for data visualization. Now, what is this? So thing is, when compared to other tools, compared to other tools where you have to do a lot of data wrangling stuff, like for example, when the data in a raw format is not in a proper shape, it is not in a proper you can say that the data is not represented in a proper format. Okay, so we have to convert the shape into a proper convert that raw data into a proper shape in a proper format. Okay, so that is all that stuff of converting doing or cleaning your data is what we call it as data wrangling. But when it comes to Tableau, we don't have to focus on that part. So in Tableau we just have to focus on creating charts. Okay, so it is all about data analysis and communicating the insights that you get from your data analysis, right? So that is how we can define, or this is the most exciting and the most interesting feature that the Tableau provides us. So right from start, you can focusing on communicating your insights rather than spending time on useless data formatting and data mistake. Okay, so then why Tableau? Next question. Why Tableau? The reason is quite simple. So it has a lot of features. So you can see the features are listed, but the biggest advantage it is that it is quite user friendly. It is quite user friendly, and it has a quite intuitive platform. So what I mean by that? So even if you have not worked with Tableau, if you have not seen Tableau anytime before, and you are just starting out with Tableau, so once you download it and you start working on the actual software, it seems so simple that everything is in place. Everything you can see it, and you can just get a sense of it, what that particular function or functionality I can use for. For example, you can see here the features are flexibility, intuitive platform. So then we have interactive visuals. Okay, so when it compared to other tools that we have, so like Power BI or Google Data Studio, the visuals are quite impressive. They are quite appealing to the eyes, and they are quite interactive as well. So that makes it a very stand out tool as a data visualization tool. Then quick production time, and it is user friendly. Any tool, we expect it to be user friendly, so it is an user friendly tool. So hence we can, any user who is just starting out, he can easily get accustomed with it, and he can just start beginning his data analysis and communication process. Okay, the insights communication process. So that is how that Tableau becomes an important tool, or I can say Tableau becomes an important aspect when it comes to data visualization. Right. Okay. So when it comes to, when I say, when I talk about where is actually the Tableau use, what will I get learning Tableau? Okay. What will I be doing by learning Tableau? Okay. So if you see here, I have listed the top companies, or the some of the companies who are right now using Tableau. What I can see, what I can also show you here is that you can see there are almost around 50,000 plus customers in the sense organizations, okay, business customers who are currently using Tableau, and the number is growing, and it is expected to grow. Okay, there is no stopping for this number. So definitely, then in this scenario, in this case, learning Tableau becomes an important step if we want to take our career in data, and if you want to make a career in data, right? Because it is used by most of the all popular organizations. So you can see here Citibank, Cisco, Google, Ferrari, okay, Xbox, Burger King, then the World Bank, Deloitte, Adobe. What you can find, okay, here is that companies are from multiple domains. So if you look at this Ferrari, okay, and Audi, they are from automobile domain. If you look at this Deloitte, okay, and some other, the World Bank, they are from finance sector. Okay, so you can just see the power of this particular tool. Okay, it is being applied or being taken into consideration by most of the domains. And so you can see here Bank of America again, whereas Adobe and Google and Cisco, these are pure IT specific companies, wherein they again are niched into, this is a networking based company, right? New York Times, right? Stanford University, this is a education sector. New York Times, it is a media company. Okay, so the idea that I want to give here is, okay, idea that I want to give here is, across multiple domains, Tableau stands as an important tool for data visualization. So it is not just that if you learn Tableau, you have to be specific for a specific domain or a specific industry. So across industries, across multiple domains, Tableau is being widely used, and the number is continuing to grow. Right? Okay. Moving on from here. So if I show you who should go for Tableau, or who should learn Tableau for that matter. So anyone who is aspiring business analyst, anyone who is an aspiring data analyst, or business intelligence developer, or aspiring data scientist, or statisticians. Okay, so and it is a must for anyone pursuing to land a career in data. Okay, so the last point is where the actual thing is. So you can see here, anyone who is thinking to land his or her career in data field. So definitely without data visualization and without Tableau, it becomes difficult to imagine a career in data. So hence it becomes important for us to learn and understand this Tableau as a tool for data visualization. Right? So the list is, I have kept it small, but you can even bring in more people to this list. So it is not just that this is the only list. So you can even think of managerial level people or CXO level people. They are also behind learning some data visualization tool, simple to use and quick data visualization. Okay, so even some product managers, project management team members, so even they fall into this category. Okay, so that they want to learn Tableau. Okay, so moving on. Yeah, so now since we have understood what is Tableau and who should go for it, so let's go into the details of this Tableau. What is this entire Tableau product, and what are the things that I can download, and how can I start? That is the question. Where can I start? How can I start? Right? So Tableau product suite. So if I look at this entire suite, so there are total 5 products that Tableau offers to us. Okay, so mainly if you look at Tableau desktop, then you can go through. There is a reader, there is a public, server, and online. But what I will do is I will like to categorize this entire product suite into, okay, I will like to categorize into 2 things, 2 main categories. Okay, so let me just write that, 2 main categories. Okay, the first category I will call it as a kind of a development, okay, development tool. Okay, development tools. And the second category is basically collaboration. I will write it here somewhere. Okay, 2 main categories. The first one is development, and the second one is collaboration. Okay, collaboration. So what I mean by this? Okay, so basically, when I want to start using Tableau, I am a developer, meaning I am creating charts. I want to visualize the data. I want to connect to some data and I want to do some data visualization. So that is what is development. That falls under the category of development. And in this development category, so there are 2 tools that Tableau provides us. One is Tableau desktop and the second one is Tableau public. So I'll just write that here. Tableau desktop. Okay. And the second one is Tableau public. These are the 2 tools that we have as a part of development, where I can download this tool, connect to data, and do some data visualization activities. Whereas if you look at the remaining 3, that is a reader, server, and online, they are basically collaboration tools. Okay, so reader, then we have server, and then we have online. Collaboration meaning, let's say you have created, you as a data analyst have created some visuals and you want to share them with your superiors. Okay, so to either to your manager or to your boss, communicating some insights about the business. Okay, so you use that Tableau tool, you develop some visualizations on that product, and then you have to share it, right? Because the reason why you have to share is that if you directly go and show that in your tool, maybe the person may not be able to understand. Okay, so the sharing part happens in this reader, server, and online. Okay, so to define, I have given the definition on a very broad level, desktop and public, and reader, server, and online as the collaboration tools. So whereas if you look at this desktop and public, this is a this desktop. Okay, let me just take my pen again. Okay, so this desktop, online, server, and reader, all these 4 are paid versions. Okay, paid versions. And if I want to use a free version, so I can just go ahead with a public version. So this is a free version, which I can download on my system and start working on it. Okay, so that is how the product suite and the tools are divided with respect to Tableau. Next. Okay, so how this Tableau architecture is created, how this entire thing works. Okay, so let's try to understand that. On a very high level, okay, so you will have your Tableau desktop or Tableau public, whatever tool that you are using. Okay, so you will have a Tableau tool for doing visualization. First thing, you will connect to the data, whatever the data format is. Either it is an Excel file or an SQL database or PDF file, Microsoft Access, anything, any database, Oracle database, Google Data Studio, or Amazon Web Services, anywhere the data is residing, you can connect to them. Okay, so first thing is that you are connecting to databases. This can just see that Tableau, and then connecting to the databases. You do some visualizations here. Okay, you create some charts. Okay, this is where you create charts, and that charts are displayed either on desktop, your PC browser, iPad, or Android, any your mobile devices as well. Okay, either on your mobile devices or on your desktop or computers, personal computers. Okay, so that is how on a very high level the architecture is divided into. Okay, now if we try to break it down a bit more. Okay, so if you can see here in memory data and live connection data. So there is two things here. Okay, one is the data that once you connect to a particular data. So what Tableau does is Tableau takes a snapshot of that data and it tries to work with the data that is imported or that is present in Tableau. It will not try to modify anything in your original data source. Okay, so once you connect to a data source, once the data is imported in Tableau, it will not modify or it will not be going to do any changes to your original data. Whatever changes happen, it will be with respect to Tableau software. Okay, now coming to the live connection. Okay, so when I say live connection, so you will let's say you are working as a data analyst and you are getting data on a daily basis. Okay, on a hourly basis. So when you want to collect that data, and at the end of the day you want to reflect that data in your charts. Okay, so that is where the concept of live connection comes from. Okay, so even you can connect to live data sets and you can do the, so that is the power of Tableau. So that is where Tableau is standing out. Okay, so even a live data can be connected to Tableau. Yeah. So that's a basic understanding of architecture. Okay, next, moving on. Tableau data sources. Okay, so here I have shown you a list of some of the data sources, not all. So you can see here, we will be looking this in the Tableau software as well. So I will show you how to download it, how to connect to any file. Okay, so but focus on this. So you can see connect section. Okay, under this connect section, you can figure out like whether you want to connect to an Excel file, text file, statistical file. Okay, and then also you can connect to some servers like Google Sheets, Salesforce, Microsoft SQL Server, right? So you can also see Amazon Redshift. Okay, so Google Cloud SQL databases. Okay, so there are some Oracle databases, OData Oracle databases, Postgres SQL. So the idea is it is able to connect to any live data source or any static, something like an Excel file which is present on your machine. Okay, so Excel files, they are static files. You cannot modify them. So they are already downloaded and it is present in some folder in your machine. So be it a file in your machine or be it a file on the database on the cloud, so you can connect Tableau to that database. So that is the idea that you have to take from here. Okay, so let's quickly go back and try to see how we can download this software. Okay, this very interesting software, which is Tableau software. Yeah. So let me just share my screen with the link. Yeah. So here, if I just try to show you, okay, so here you can clearly find, I will give you this link. Okay, so this is where the actual link is. Okay, so what you can see here is that you can see a create. Once you land to this page, you can see create, and on this create you can see download Tableau desktop public edition. Okay, so I told you that the public is the one out of the entire Tableau product suite which we can download for free, of cost, no charges, right? So you can just click on this download Tableau desktop. Once you click, so you can just click on download Tableau public, and it will ask you some your basic details, your first name, last name, your some email. Okay, basic email. Don't is it not necessary that you have to give a business email. You can give your normal Gmail ID as well, and you have to select the country and the region, like India right now, right? So I'll select India, and then I can just go ahead and download the app. Okay, just click on download the app and it will start your download, and it will be done within some time. Once you download it, okay, so the next step is installation. The installation is quite simple. It is not that difficult. So you can easily do the installation part. It is as simple as installing any other application, any other software application. Okay, so with that, I have it downloaded on my system already. So I will just show you how the actual tool looks like. Okay. So this is the Tableau public, okay, software, where you can see the exact similar structure what we have seen on slides as well. So you can see a connect section, you can see an open section, then a discover section. Expand if you want to see that same blue color thing. So you can click on more here and you can see some connectors. Okay. Okay. So right now you are not able to see the Amazon Redshift. Okay. And other sources like Oracle, Amazon Redshift, or even Google, some Google based data sources here. The reason for that is, as I have already mentioned you, that this Tableau public is a free version, so it has got certain limitations only with respect to connecting to the data sets. Okay, but when we are using this Tableau public, the advantage is that we can connect to any of these kinds of files. So you can see this Microsoft Excel text file, JSON, Microsoft Access PDF file. So you can even connect to a PDF file. Okay, so spatial and statistics files, right? So we won't be having our data located on any web server or a web service. So once you are working with an organization, you will have the actual Tableau desktop software where you can connect to majorly any data source by just providing details, your login details of the organization. So that is how this works. Fine. So let's connect to a data set. Let's see there's this in action, how this entire tool, how to connect to a particular data. Okay. So for that matter, I'll be sharing the data set as well. Well, let me just first show you how the data set looks like. Okay. So that is the thing which we have to focus on. What is present in the data and to which data am I connecting to? Okay. So I'll be connecting to something called as, let me just share my Excel file. Okay, so you can view at this place. Okay, so you can see this is the data that I'll be interested to do my analysis on. Okay, so you can see the first row in the data is having the names of all the columns. Okay, like row ID, then order ID, order date, on which day a particular product. Let me give you a context. Okay, so this data is superstores data where a particular store, okay, like something like a DMart or some superstore, okay, Vishal Mart, something like that. Okay, they have collected data, okay, for 4 years, starting from 2016, probably 2014 to 2017. Okay, so the data and every detail about the order is recorded. So, like what kind of products were ordered from the store, who was the customer name, what is the customer's details, okay, and which country the customer belongs to. So everything, every detail about the customer is recorded. So you can just check that. The rows, the columns present in this data are quite self-explanatory. Row ID is nothing but ID of the rows. Order ID, every order will have its own ID. So that is what is recorded. Then date at which it was ordered and the date at which it was shipped to the customer. And mode, how it was shipped, like second class mode or standard class mode, or we have some other classes. Customer ID, name of the customer, segment, which segment the customer belongs to, country, city, state. You can see this basic informations like this. And you can see at the end here, we have product name, sales, quantity, how much quantity was ordered, what was the discount on that particular product, and what is the profit earned, right? So we can see a mix of all types of data here, right? So we have some numerical values, we have some text values, okay? So which will be a good starting point for our data analysis using Tableau, right? So let's try to connect. Let's see how we can connect this file to our Tableau notebook, right? So I will just say, okay, so here is my file, Excel file again. So if you just focus on this particular file, okay, if you just focus on this particular file, and if I just show you how this file is stored, the file is a Microsoft Excel file. Okay, .xlsx is the extension. Okay, that is how the file is stored on my system. So for that matter, when I go back to Tableau, I can see an option here. If my file is a Microsoft Excel file, I can you click on this option to connect to the file. Right. What I'll do, I'll just click on this Microsoft Excel. Okay. So once I click on Microsoft Excel, what will happen is it will show me, okay, it will give me an option to locate where the file is located on my system. So I see that it is located in some folder here. So I'll just go to navigate to that particular folder, and I see that the Microsoft Excel sample superstore file is present here. I'll just click on that file and I'll click on open. Okay, I'll click on open. So once I do that, I can see something. Okay, so I can see something happening here on Tableau, right? So something, let's see that. Okay, so the connection, the active connections are displayed on this, and the sheets, okay, are displayed here. So what are the total number of sheets present in our file? So we have orders, okay, we have people, okay, we have returns. Okay, so let's check that. Let's check, where do we have these many sheets in our table, in our data set? Yes, I can see that here. Okay, so we can just check orders, returns, and people. So these are the 3 different sheets that I have in my original data, which I successfully got imported. Okay, successfully are imported in Tableau. Okay, and I can see here. Now it is up to us to which sheet are we going to work with. So basically, I will be starting my work with my orders table. Okay, orders sheet. I just select that and drag and drop it onto this area. Look at this. I'll do that again. Right. So it's a white area. I select this, drag and drop it onto this drag tables here section. What happens? The data set gets loaded. As simple as that. And the moment I load the data, you can see certain things appearing on the screen. Okay. So there is a lot of information on the screen available. So let's try to decode them one by one. Okay. So if you just see, Tableau is trying to give us a lot of details, like how many rows and how many columns are present in the data. So you can just check this here. So there are 21 columns. Okay. And there are around approximately 10,000 rows present in the data. Right. So that information Tableau provides us. We don't have to scratch our heads for that. What is the total amount of data available with me? Then what are the other things? So we can see the names of all the columns. Okay, so like row ID, order date, the exact same names are displayed here. Okay, and along with that, there is something at this side here, which is displayed. And what I can see here is the actual data, how the data is present in the table, in that Excel file. That is what is displayed. So row ID, order date, shipping date, etc. All of this stuff is displayed in one single window, in one single particular window. Lot of information. And again, right now it also displays as 100 rows. So what is this 100 rows? So if you just change this number, just play with that number. So what we are able to see, the thing that we are able to see is the top 5 rows of my Excel file are displayed. Okay, the top 5 rows. If I change this number to 3, the top 3 rows present in my Excel file are displayed in order. Okay, so you can see how the data is present. Okay. Now, so this is how the basic layout. Once you load a data set, the data set is now loaded. One more information, that very important information that Tableau provides us at this particular, okay, ABC. Then orders, order date, I can see a calendar icon, so which is for a date. So isn't it super cool that Tableau is able to identify the data types by itself, right? So you don't have to worry. This is what the data of wrangling part is. Whether the data type is proper or not, checking whether the data type is proper or not. If it is not proper, converting to a proper data type. So that is not what we are going to focus on in Tableau. The Tableau does it for us. You can just check that. It has already done it for us, right? So even if you scroll towards the rightmost part here, Okay, yeah. So if you just scroll towards the rightmost part, so you can see that for sales and quantity, discount and profit, all are hashtags. And if you just scroll towards the place where you have some geographical information data, like the country which the person belongs to, okay, the state, okay, the state, the city, okay, all these values, you can see a globe icon, okay, globe icon, which represents the geographical data, okay, it is a geographical data present in that particular column, right? So basic, all the basic necessary steps, like identifying the type of column, identifying the type of data present in that column, everything Tableau takes care of that. You don't have to worry. Just have to focus on the visualization. Where are we going to do the visualization? So we'll go to this. There is something at the bottom here called as sheet one. Okay. Just look at this sheet one, and I'll just land onto this sheet. Right. I'm just landing onto the sheet. Right. So here on this sheet, you can see some layout. Okay. Something like some are options are present, some functionalities that Tableau provides us. So like marks, filters, pages, okay, columns and rows. Sheet number one. And there are some tables here. Okay. So some basic functionalities that Tableau provides us. So we have to uh, unroll these functionalities one by one. Okay. Yeah. Now, coming to this visualization part, let's do a very quick visualization. Okay. Let's do a very quick visualization. Okay. Between, let's say, category. Okay. What category and sales. I just want to see. Okay. I just want to look at which category, okay, is having the highest sales. What is that category that is having the generating the highest sales? That is the question. Okay. So when I look at that, when I look at this particular data, okay, so I can clearly see that technology is where the sales is the maximum. But what I want you people to focus on here is just look at the speed at which it is creating charts. What did we do? We just dragged category and put it onto columns, dragged sales and put it onto columns. Let me just show you that again, okay, in action. See this. What I did, I just used category, dragged it on, dropped it onto columns, and sales onto rows. Just look at the speed at which it is creating that chart. Okay, so that is where the power of Tableau comes from, right? Okay, fine. So with that, I will just take some pause here, take some break. We'll just look at some question and answers. Okay, we'll just take some few Q&As, and then we will move on to understand more details about this particular tool. Okay, about the Tableau tool, how to actually create, what are the design principles, what are the things that we need to consider when we are creating a chart. Okay, how to present a chart to a particular audience. Okay, all those things has to be taken into account, right? So let me just quickly take some questions. Yeah, so I have some questions. I am just reading out them, right? So from where do we get the data file of Excel? Don't worry, I'll leave the dataset link in the description. So after the session, you will be able to find the dataset file, okay, so that you can watch this and you can redo this entire exercise again, right? Okay, then how interesting, watching from Kolkata. Okay, what are the any other questions, guys? Just put it out, put any questions you have into the chat. I want to see some questions. Okay, no questions. Okay. So great. Then let me just throw out few questions. Okay. So since I am handling them, so I want to understand like what is the job market? What is the current job market? So what I see is, see, uh, currently, if I try to look at the job market of this Tableau, it is quite promising. Okay, because as we have seen that the companies are the number of companies who are using Tableau is very high, and it is increasing day on day. It is increasing. It is not. I mean, it is not stagnant or it is not even decreasing. So, which means that there is a quite good amount of opportunity for each one of us to uh, exactly learn this particular tool and then land our career as a data analyst or a data scientist. Right. So that is one thing. Second thing, why are we learning Tableau? Why are we not learning Power BI? So that is an obvious question. Okay. So why not any other tool? Why specifically Tableau? So this the answer to this question is a bit more, I would say, a technical kind of thing. Okay. So uh, thing is like when you have millions and millions of rows available in your data. Okay. When it is talking about specifically big data. Okay. When the data is very huge, and when it comes to performing data visualization using some tool on that huge data. So what we do is that we prefer Tableau over Power BI, because the limitation of Power BI is it can handle data up to a certain extent. Okay, we it cannot handle data a big data kind of a thing after a certain extent. Okay, so once a certain extent is crossed, Power BI crashes. Power BI will not be able to perform that better. But the advantage with Tableau is you feed in any amount of data to Tableau, it will not crash. It will work as smoothly as it's supposed to work. Okay, so the data set size, the number of data that you have, okay, it is not limited as far as coming to Tableau. Okay. Okay, so few other questions, something like yeah. So the next obvious question is okay, the next obvious question that we can think of is that since Tableau is providing a lot of suites, so is it necessary to master all the Tableau tools? So like we have a reader, we have a Tableau public desktop, public okay, the public version that we are right now using, and then the online version and the server version. So is it necessary to know everything? The answer is no, because I have given very important distinction to you. So like one is a set of tool which is used for development, and one is other is a set of tool which is used for collaboration. So when it comes to, since you are doing the development part, which is creating chart, right? Okay, so in any one of this desktop or public, so you can be able to sail through it. Okay, so they are just sharing, like once you create your charts, how you are going to share them with the audience. That is where the tools come into picture. Right? Okay. So any other questions I can see? Okay, able to see any questions? Fine. Right. Yeah, no questions. Great. Yeah. So Rishabh, are you here? Fine. Okay. So moving on. Yeah. So moving on with our activity that we are doing. Okay. So just look at this. I will just show you once again how this entire thing is created, right? Okay, so we were looking at category. Okay, so I'll just drag this category onto columns and sales onto the rows, right? And I'll, in order to view the data in a proper structured way, in a proper structured format. So what I will do is I can see a lot of white space, white area here, right? So I just go to this place and click on entire view. Okay, so this is my entire view. Okay, now since I can see that the bars is quite big, right? It is quite big, so it does not look that great to present this kind of a data. Okay, so we want to reduce. We have to reduce the size of it. So in order to do that, within within certain clicks, you can do that. So something like you just go to the size option and reduce the size. If you click on here, the size will increase. If you click onto this area, the size will decrease. Okay, so that is how you can play with this size option, right? Now coming on to this if you now look at this particular chart, this bar graph, what I can see is I can see the bars, but I cannot see any numbers. If I get to number top of this, okay, on the top of this bars, exactly how much is the sales that is happening? Okay, exactly how much is the sales that is happening for each category? So that will be great, right? So if you want to do that, what you have to do, supposed to do, just go to the sales. Okay, select your sales attribute and drag it and drop it onto the labels. The moment you do it, you can see some numbers appearing on the top of the bars, right? So it is 742,000, 719,000, and 836,000. So these are the numbers that appear on the top of this. What I see when I look at this bar chart is that it is not arranged in a proper format. So why I'm saying that? So see this. If I try to connect them, so once it is decreasing and then it is increasing. So what I can see is the bars are not arranged in proper, either in a decreasing order or they should be arranged in a increasing order. So you have to select any one of them, right? So in order to do that, in order to align our graph, arrange our graphs in an ascending or a descending order. So what we do is we just have to just say select either this option or this option that we see here at the top. So here when you do this, you can just check. Now it is showing some increase in an increasing order. If you do this, it will be showing in a decreasing order. So which means that it will keep the highest the category with the highest sales at the first place. Okay, the category with the highest sales will be placed at the first place. Okay, so it is very important. It becomes very important for us whenever we are looking at a data visualization perspective. So either when you are creating a bar chart, okay, so it becomes very important that you create it either in an ascending order or a descending order. So these are the few design principles that come into picture. So okay, so like how a bar chart should be presented. Okay, the exact way of presenting a bar chart is that you should have all the names visible. We can say technology, your furniture and office supplies. Everything is clearly visible on my screen. And then I displaying some numbers on the bar graphs. So arranged either in an increasing or a decreasing fashion. Okay, so that it gives me a instant picture, instant communication that okay, technology is generating the highest amount of sales. Within looking at just by looking at the graph, I'm able to understand that. So that is how you should think when you are designing a particular graph. Looking at the graph, you should be able to communicate your most important message that you want to communicate. Right? So now what I see is that the numbers are not in a proper format. I don't like this formatting because it becomes a bit difficult to read. Okay, so you can perform some formatting options. So just look at this. Sum of sales. So you will have some options as a part of this sales here, and you can see there is an option called as format. You just click on that format option and you will be able to see fields here. Okay, select sum of sales from this fields and just go to this option called as numbers. See a numbers option here. Right, just go to that, click on that numbers option and select number custom, or you can even go with the currency custom. Anyone is fine. Number custom, let me just show you with a number custom. So display units, I will just say as millions. Okay, so I want to look at in the millions place, and then the prefix that I want to look at is dollars. Okay, so since this is a US specific data, I'm interested in putting even the currency part. So what I observe from here is everything is 0.84, 0.74, and 0.72. So I will change that to thousands. Okay, so I can now get the category is appearing in a blue colored pill, and the sales is appearing in something called as a green colored pill. Okay, so why? What is Tableau doing here? So let's try to understand that as well. Okay, category. Okay, so it is, you can just imagine that there are technology category, there is a furniture category, and there is office supplies category. So some few categories. So basically it is a categorical data. You have certain categories in the data, and it is a text specific data, right? So what Tableau does is, for any text specific data or any category specific data, Tableau tries to identify them as dimensions. Okay, dimensions. We call any particular column which is present in a blue colored pill, we call them as dimensions. And any particular column which is present, okay, in a green colored pill, we call them as measures. Okay, we call them as measures. Now, what is a dimension and what is a measure? How to define them or how to identify them? The definition is quite simple. Okay, so if I talk about measures, okay, so the name itself indicates if you are able to measure something. Okay, so something like if you are able to perform some mathematical operations like total, okay, like average, okay, like average, or like any other mathematical operation that you can think of. When you are able to do this on any column, profit, sales, quantity, any column, then that column, those columns become your measures. And the reverse is your dimensions. Reverse meaning if you are not able to do anything like total, you're not able to perform any average, okay, then we call them as dimensions. Okay, no arithmetic operations can be applied. So in that sense, you can see this. The first part of your data is all dimensions, and second part of your data is all measures. Okay, call them as dimensions, and we call them as measures. Fine. Okay. Now, with that we have understood. So now if I, let's say, what is this then? What is this bar graph displaying us? It is basically displaying the total sales by each category. Okay, for each category, the total sales is displayed, right? So if I want to change it to an average, if I want to look at the average sales, I just have to do one click and it will display me the average sales. Just look at this. Measure and average. So this is my average sales. Okay, this is my average sales. Just one click and you are able to convert it into from a total sales to an average sales. Imagine, look at the beauty of this tool. Okay, so this is not possible in any coding or any other thing, right? Okay, so average sales, here also you will have to change it because you are displaying sum of sales here. So you will have to change it to average, right? So average. So this is my average sales for each category. Just changing them to, that's the idea. Okay, now let's create a new chart. Let's try to see what are the different types of charts available with me and how can I create multiple charts. Okay, so let's say on my sheet number 1, I am creating some chart which is category by this thing. Second, I'll go to the second place here. Okay, on this second chart, I want to create, let's say, a pie chart. Okay, I want to create a pie chart. So for that matter, I will, what I'll do, I'll just go to this region and select that and place it onto columns. And I'll just go to the sales and place it onto, okay, rows. Basically, what I am doing, I'm checking the total sales for each region. Okay, so we have central, we have east region, we have south region, and we have west region. We are talking about United States data. So we have all the 4 regions of United States and the total sales on those 4 states, 4 regions. So this is not what we are expecting. We are expecting a pie chart, but it is by default displaying us a bar chart. So how we can change this to a pie chart? This is a question. Again, you just have to do one simple click and it will change it to a pie chart. Just look at this. To show me, click on this show me option. Here you will see the variety of charts that you have, all the various options, different kinds of charts that Tableau provides you. Okay, so right now we are selected, or we it is displaying the bar chart. So see this. You can see a orange colored highlighted box around it, which means that that particular chart is selected. If you want to change it to pie chart, you have to select on this. If you want to change it to a table, you have to select. Okay, if you want to change it to any other chart, okay, so you have to select. Also, okay, along with this, if you also observe, okay, so some of the charts you can select, like pie chart or a table chart, but some of the charts it is grayed out. You cannot select them. So why is Tableau doing that? So the Tableau is so smart. It is telling that for this combination, for region and sales, when you want to look the total sales, okay, total sales by region, when you are looking at this combination, okay, the line charts, you cannot create a line chart for this particular data. So it is not allowing you to select this line chart. Okay, so for this combination of region wise sales, it is not even allowing you to select the maps. So just look at the intelligence that this tool provides. Okay, the power of this tool. So change it to pie chart, just select this pie chart. So it is now converted into a pie chart. Okay, so in order to view it in a proper manner, so just have to go to this place and click on entire view. So it will change to the complete view. Okay. Now the problem with this pie chart is that what we can see is it is just displaying. I'm not sure what is this, what is this color, what is this blue color, what is this red color, what is orange color representing. If you want to understand them, so you can see here there is a legend present at the right corner, okay, at the rightmost top corner, so which is displaying the meaning of those colors. So blue color represents a central region, okay, and then orange color is representing a east region. So like that is how we read this part. Okay, this part, that is how we read that part. We call this as a legend. In a Tableau or a data visualization terminology, we call that as a legend. Okay, so the legend is helpful for us to decide what color is representing what. Okay, that is the first thing. Now what I feel is that, okay, color is fine. Color is, it will be displayed at the top here, but I want to actually see the data or the names of the regions on that pie chart. Okay, so without that, it will not be that interesting, right? So what I will do, I'll just select region. I'll just select the region part. I'll drag it and drop it onto this label. Okay, I have an option for label here, and I'll drop it over to that. The moment I drop it, I can see for that particular section, it is labeling that as a either it is a central or a west or a east or a south. Now it is clear. Now I also want to see the percentage of sales that is happening in this particular region. Okay, in each region. So how will I do that? Again, you have to label it. Okay, so let's try to label that. So select sales, okay, and drag and drop it onto the label here. Just drag and drop it onto the label. So I can see some values. So here 725K and then 501K, okay, 678,000 and 391,000. It's the total sales that is happening in each of these regions, right? But see, when we talk about a pie chart, okay, so pie chart is all about percentages. What percentage of sales is happening in the south region? What percentage of sale is happening in the central region? So I would be more interested in looking at the percentages, okay, rather than looking at the actual values of sales, the total sales percentage values. So in order to do that, I have to do a small modification to this sales. Okay, so this particular sales, because just look at this. See this. I will select this sales and a drop down for that sale. And there is an option called as quick table calculation. Okay, quick table calculation. Go to that quick table calculation. So in that, you have to just select percentage of total. Moment you do that, see that. You can see the percentage of sales in each region. 17%, 29%, 21%, and 31%. So out of the total sales that has happened, okay, in all the regions, okay, 41% of the sales has happened. 31% sales is in the west region. So I feel that the west region is generating the highest amount of sales. So I can think of some actionable strategies based on this. So like I can either focus on more marketing in the West region. I can bring up with some other things. Okay. Then the least amount of sales that is happening is in this South region, 17%. Okay. Only 17% sales. Now, what is this implying doing? So I have to focus more on this South region. What are the problems? What are the pain points? So that is how I can come up with some strategies to improve my sales in this South region, right? Okay, so this is basically what we call it as the creating a data visualization. Okay, creating a data visualization and communicating the insights to the audience. Okay, so this is the basic idea. Now, so we are good with our pie chart. We are good with our uh, bar chart. So we understood how we can go ahead and create a bar chart and other stuff like that. And if we want to convert or if you want to create any other chart for that matter, we now also know that this show me option provides me a multiple types of chart that I can create. Okay, so let's go to the next one. Let's try to see that in my data, what I surprisingly observe is that I have a date column. Okay, when the customers have ordered, on what particular days the customers have placed the order, I have that information available. And I also have profit and I also have sales. So when I have a date with me and a sales and profit, so the moment I see this kind of a data, I get an thought that okay, how will be how are the sales year on year? How is the sales month on month? How is the profit month on month? Okay, so like whether the sales is increasing or whether the sales is decreasing month on month, year on year, whatever it is. So let's try to figure that out. How to do that? So it's again very simple. Select order date, drag and drop it onto the columns. Select either profit or sales, any one of them. So let's keep that sales for this matter. Okay, and the moment you do that, just to fit it to the entire view, I just select this and make it an entire view. Okay, so Tableau understands. So just look at the beauty. Okay, whenever I am selecting the combination of a date and a measure, okay, combination of a date and a measure, Tableau itself is understanding that the user is trying to create a line chart. Okay, I did not go and select, or I did not tell Tableau to create a line chart. Tableau itself is doing that for me. Okay, so that is the biggest thing. That is the biggest advantage or a feature that Tableau provides us. So next thing that we have is we can see that, okay, probably the sales was a bit down from 2014 to 2015. It's a bit down and then it started to increase. So between 15 to 17, the sales have increased. Okay, so this is if you want to get your sales values. So you can just apply that sales to the label. You can see the sales values for every year. Okay, so right now, let's not populate that here. Okay, so just look at this. So we got this line chart. Now what I want to do is, what I'm thinking here is, I got a year on year chart. But my idea is also to look at a month level. I also want to look at a month level. Okay, so if I want to go to a month level, so how can I do that? The answer is very simple again. Just click on this drop down, and what Tableau does is it provides us all the options specific to dates. So you have a year, you have quarter, you have month, you have day, you have other things like week number and weekly. Let's say I'm interested in month. I am interested in month. So I'll select this particular month. What I get to see now, the pattern or the picture is quite clear that starting in the month of January, the sales have decreased till February. And then they started to increase. So from February to March, the sales have gone up. Then again, there was a dip in April, and then they have almost not increased or not decreased. And then towards the last part of the year, okay, so like the ending of the year, the sales have shooted up. Okay, they have drastically increased. That is the observation that I get. Okay, the thing that you can observe here is how easy was it for us to convert from an year level to a month level. How easy for it was for us to go from an year level to month level. Just one click and then we got to the month level. Okay. Okay, so see this. I can go ahead and look at this month level once again. What is the difference? Okay, so if you just check, this is also representing month. And if you just go one step back, this is also representing month. What is the difference here? What difference is this between month and month? The first difference is that the month which is in a blue colored pill right now, okay, whatever values that we get for sales here. Okay, so let's display that sales values. So select sales, drop it onto the label. Okay, so just look at the readings. The sales value in the month of January is 94,925, right? So this value is not just for January month, for 1 year. Okay, so we have a data from 2014 till 2017. Okay, 2017. So this sales value, this total sales value is for January month for all the 4 years. Similarly, this data, that is 59,000, is the total sales for February month for all these 4 years. Okay, so likewise, this one 325,000 is the sales, total sales for the month of December, for the month of December. So that is how we understand this. Now, what is the difference then with the second one? When just see this, select this one, and I select the month which is in the second section here. Right now, the month from the first section is selected. I am selecting the month from the second section. The moment I do that, what I see is it turns into green color. Okay, changes the entire chart into a green color. Sorry, the pill, the month here is changed into green color. And what I see is, okay, so these are the month wise values for every year. So see this. In order to give an example, look at this. This is 14,000 is the sales for the November 2013. This will be for December 2013. This will be for January 2014. So for every year, every month, the data has been bifurcated. It has been segregating the data. So look at the amount of detail. Okay, so how Tableau is taking care of what kind of a chart that you want to look when you are creating a line chart. Okay, where you want to look at the month level of every year, or you want to look at the month level of all the years collectively. Okay, so that is the difference between that month which was in blue color and the month which is in green color right now. Okay, so similarly, you can just play around with this month, and you have a day level, you have everything. Okay, so if I want to see on a day level, just look at this, the kind of insight it is providing me. So, I can see that during mid of the month, somewhere around 17th or 18th of the month, okay, 18th of any particular month, the sales are very high. The sales are very low towards the end of the month. Okay, the sales are very high in the middle of the month, but the sales are very low towards the end of the month. That is the observation that I get. Okay, so that is how we can use this date tool to get an overall picture of how it is being displayed, how the information is being presented. Right? Okay, so that's the point about these dates. So let's convert this into a month. Okay, so like this, and let's leave that. Now, moving on to the next part. So we have a few more quite interesting charts that we have to see. Okay, so let's look at the relation between sales and profit. So how is the relation? How is profit performing with respect to sales? Whether the sales, when the sales is increasing, whether the profit is increasing. When the sales is decreasing, whether the profit is also decreasing at the same time. So I want to do a comparative analysis between sales and profit. So let's try to do that. So I'll use sales I'll use sales here. Okay, onto the columns. Okay, and then I'll use profit onto the rows. Okay. So Tableau does some strange thing here. Okay, so just try to focus on this. So you get this a dot. Okay, you get a small dot there, and you probably might be thinking, what is this dot representing? So this is nothing but the total sales and total profit. Okay, so what I mean by that, so let's say you have 10,000 sales values. There are 10,000 values in sales and there are 10,000 values in profit. Okay, so like this you have values. When you perform that sum of the sales, what will happen? You will be left with one value. And when you perform the sum of profit, again you will be have only one value. Okay, so when you plot this single value of sales and profit, the obvious thing that will going to happen is that you are getting a single dot, because you are having one value from sales and one value from profit. So hence you are getting only one dot, single circle. But this is not what I intend to look at. I am trying to look at or the relation. Okay, I'm trying to look at a more detailed level. I don't want to look at a total sales to total profit level. Okay, so let's try to look at a more detailed level. How to do that? So right now, if you focus on these columns, okay, so just look at that. So you have sum of profit, okay, and you have sum of sales. Both are sum. Okay, the aggregation or the thing that is performed, the mathematical operation that is applied on sales and profit is sum. If we remove that sum, okay, if we just remove that sum from the picture, then it will give us a nice scatter plot, the relation plot. How to remove that? Let's check this. Go to analysis. Okay, you have an analysis option at the very top, and you can see something called as aggregate measures. Okay, just click on that. Moment you do that, you can see sales and profit. The sum is removed, and you can see a nice scatter plot being created. So let me just reverse this in order to understand that better. So if I want to reverse that, I'll just click on this button at the very top. So it will reverse my sales and profit. I get a perfect. What I observe from the chart, what is the chart conveying? Chart is telling me that when the sales is increasing, okay, when the sales is increasing, the profit is also increasing. That is what general idea that I get. Let me just make it an entire view so you can see that clearly. Okay, so now let's suppose that you are not happy with these circles that are displayed. You want to change your shapes. Okay, change your shapes to plus, you change your shape to stars. Okay, whether you want to change your shapes to triangles, you can change it to any shape that you intend to, or whichever you feel comfortable with. Let's say I want to change it to stars, right? And what I do here is, okay, I also want to see this relation between sales and profit. Okay, I want to see this relation between the sales and profit at a category level, meaning that, see, right now the sales and profit relation is quite simple. Okay, I can see that it is increasing. When the sales is increasing, profit is increasing. That is the relation, what I see. But what I also notice is that there are some extreme values here. Okay, just look at the majority of the data is located here, and there are some extreme values located here. Okay, so to which category do they belong to? Why are these extreme? I mean, how are these extreme values caused? What is the cause of these extreme values? Who is causing this? Which category is causing this? I want to understand that. So for that, if you want to do something, so what you can do is select category, drop it onto the color. The moment you do that, so Tableau is giving us more information saying that these categories or these values, extreme values, are related to technology. They are coming from technology category because now it has been color coded. So this gives us a clear picture, okay, that technology is having some extreme values in terms of profit and in terms of sales as well. Okay, in terms of profit and in terms of sales also. Right? Okay, so that is the observation from this chart. So this is basically the type of chart that we call this one is a scatter plot. This is a scatter chart. So when there are two numerical variables like this, okay, when you have two numerical variables or when you have two measures, profit and sales, the best ideal chart that you have to always select or go with is a scatter plot. Okay, so these are some design principles. Okay, so like few of the design principles that I have already mentioned, okay, is that you should never leave your bar chart in an unsorted manner. Okay, so if these are representing your bars, they should not be unsorted. You should sort them either in a decreasing order or a increasing fashion. Okay, so this is we call this as the Gestalt's design principles, Gestalt's law of continuity. Okay, so that has to be taken care. The design principles are very important. Okay, because the audience to which you are presenting to, they will be more interested in the details, like how your design, how good you are at your design principles. Okay, and then the type of chart that we are selecting when we are using two measures, that is a profit and a sales, is the scatter plot. So this is again a design principle that is coming into picture. So what kind of a chart to select when we have two measures or two numerical values? Okay, so that is things, concepts behind this data visualization or design principles. Now, look at this. One more interesting thing. Okay, so what I have is that I also have some geographical informations. So if you just look at these, okay, if you just look at city, country, state, you have all the geographical data. Okay, so when I think of a geographical data, so instead of presenting or instead of creating a plain bar chart, something like this. Let's see, look at this. I select state, okay. I use states onto my columns and I select sales. So I'm looking at the sales, okay. I'm looking at the sales state wise, in which state the sales are high. Okay, the bar chart is doing a very good job in giving us the information that which state is having the highest amount of sales. Okay, okay, so bar chart is absolutely performing well, but I'm not happy with it. Okay, I'm not happy with it because if you show me that on an actual map, okay, on an actual map, how the states are performing with respect to sales, if I can get to see that on a map, it will be more interesting, more visually appealing. So just go to the show me and select this map. Okay, so when you do this, you're not getting what it is expected from you from the Tableau part. You're getting an entire world map. Right? Just check this. Okay, you are getting an entire world map, whereas I should only be able to look at the US map because the data is belonging to US. Right? So what is happening here? How to fix this? There is some error that is, or there is some minor fixes that we have to do. Okay, so how we can fix this? Let's look at that. So just go to this map option at the very top. Okay, so follow along. Okay, so how I am doing that, just look at that. I have some option called as edit locations. Okay, the problem is you can see here the region or the country that is selected here is India. Okay, okay, the region that is selected here is India. So I will just select that. Okay, and I'll change it to United States. I'll change that to United States and I'll just click on OK. The moment I do that, see this, I did not do anything. I just changed that from India to United States and the map is zoomed. It is showing me only the United States regions and the states specifically from United States. Okay, so if you want to now put the things on label, so you can just say state onto the label so that you get the names of all the states. And if you also want to look at the sales values, so you can put them right there onto the label. Okay. And assuming that if you are not happy with this color blue, okay, blue color, if you are not happy, so you can anytime change it. What you need to do is just go to this legend that is present here. There is a drop down on that legend. and you have an option for edit colors. Okay, so you can just check this. Click on that, and you get to see multiple options here. So let's say I go with a red. Okay, if I am not happy with red, I will go with a green. Okay, I'll just select green and I'll say apply. Okay, so to some amount, I think that green is more appealing. So let's check with the gray part. Gray is not that great. Purple, okay, is not that great. Let's say green and gold. Okay, so to some extent, I can see that this green and gold combination is again working, right? This is again one of the most important design principle. Okay, so wherein we are in a position to decide what color to be used to represent which kind of a chart. So it is completely dependent upon the data analyst who is performing the analysis and who is showing it, presenting it to a particular audience. Okay, the data analyst has the freedom here to select the color of his choice where he want to share some important informations. Okay, so that is the basic idea behind selecting these colors. Okay, so if you are not happy, then just you click and you can change it to, let's say, brown. I don't think brown is again good. Okay, so I think green is pretty good to go with. All right. So that is a basic about geographical maps. Okay, geographical. So apart from this, Tableau also provides quite a lot of interesting charts. Okay, so if you just try to just check here. Okay, let's say if you use subcategory, let's say I use subcategory along with sales. So I get a bar graph. Okay, I get a bar chart, and if I want to check, I can create a pie chart. I can create a table. Okay, I can create a tree map, something called as a tree map. Okay, so this is again a variation of pie chart. Okay, so wherein which particular subcategory is contributing the highest to the sales, right? So that is what we even get out from our pie charts, right? So like what category is contributing the highest to sales or profit, right? The same thing is what is conveyed from a tree map as well. Okay, so through tree maps, I can see now that it is telling me that phones, okay, the phones from the technology category are having the highest impact on the sales. Okay, people who are ordering from this particular store are more interested to order phones. Then they are interested to order chairs, and then the storage part, and then the tables, and then the binders and machines, accessories. So the more you go on in this fashion, in a diagonal fashion, the lesser the impact, which means that the labels here or the art here is not having is having a less impact. It is having a very less impact on the sales. This one is having high impact on the sales, right? So starting from the first one, very top, to till this very last value here, okay, it will gradually keep on decreasing. So it starts with a very high impact and it goes on all the way till the one which is having the lowest impact. Okay. So along with this, okay, now you have seen that how we can create the important visualizations, like using the show me button, all the different types of visualization. You can just go with multiple permutation and combinations of these columns. You can create any kind of a chart, right? So if it is a date, you can create a line chart. If it is a map or a geographical data, you can create a map. Okay, so that you have got a very good understanding which type of chart to go with when it is having what kind of a data. Now let's look at some of the charts which are not available in the show me option. Okay, so just look at this. See this. I use this subcategory again. Okay, and then I use sales. I get a plain bar chart. I'm not interested in this. I change it to, let's say, a tree map. Okay, I change it to a tree map. I do certain changes to this so that I can get some different set of charts. So let's say I just go to this automatic here. Okay, in my marks, there is an option called as automatic. There is a drop down automatic, and in that automatic section, I select for this text. Can you see that the chart that I'm getting here is a word cloud? This kind of a chart or this kind of a visual, we call this as a word cloud. Okay. So you might have seen this kind of a chart on internet, on Google, so many times that which category or a kind of a word cloud. Okay. There are many examples available on Google. But the thing is, if you just check your show me, okay, show me option here, there is no option to create a word cloud. But using certain functionalities of Tableau, that the basic functionalities that Tableau provides, we are able to create our own customized charts. Okay, we are able to create our own customized charts. So that is the beauty. It is not that we are going to restrict only the types of charts that are available. So likewise, we can create multiple charts. We can create a chart like a donut chart. We can create a calendar out of it. All the different combinations and all the different types of advanced charts, a waterfall chart, a spider chart, all those are the advanced type of charts which we can even create using this Tableau tool. Okay, so which is not available in the default Tableau show me menu. Okay, this chart is not available. So how to read? How are we going to read this word cloud? How to read a word cloud? Okay, the one that the text which is having the darkest color. Okay, text which is having the darkest color and bigger font. Okay, font is also big, the color is also bright. When these two things are present in a particular text, then we say that that is the highest one. So I can see that phones is having the highest sales. Okay, phones is having the highest sales. So similarly, you can see that chairs, as compared to phones, chairs is not that bright, and that the font size is also decreased. So chairs is second. So similarly, you can see paper, labels and art here, bookcases, furnishings and other things. So which is the font is also decreasing and the brightness of the color is also decreasing. And at any time, if you are not satisfied with this color, so you can play around with your colors using this option here. So if you go with a brown color, you can even go with a brown color. If you are happy with a gray warm, okay, so you can even go with a gray warm. If you are good with a red, so you can even go with a red color. Any color that suits, okay, that suits the audience that you are trying to present this information. Okay, so this is some advanced charts that we can think of creating when you are working on with Tableau. Okay, so this is one of the things. Along with this, one more advanced chart that I would like to show. Okay, so just look at this. Let's say I use this order date once again. Okay. And I use sales. I use sales. Okay, and then I'll just click on the entire view. I click on the entire view. Now what is the, okay, I'll change it to month-wise sales. Let's say I'll change it to a month-wise sales. Okay, so the problem here is, or the limitation of this particular chart is, I am able to only look at month-wise sales. Okay, so what I also want here into this chart is that I also want to look at profit. So when the sales was high, how was the profit? Okay, how is profit month on month compared to sales? Let's try to bring that profit also into the picture. So let's say I use this profit, select profit, drag it and place it on the rows. So I get a very good chart. Okay, so you can see this, how the profit is constantly increasing. There is no dip anywhere in the profit. But if you just check sales, in the month of February, the sales had decreased, but the price or the profit was increasing. Okay. And when in the month of December, when the sales have decreased, the profit is increasing, still increasing. I can do a comparative analysis like this. This is one way. Or else I can do something like this also. Just look at this. Go to show me. And there is an option called as dual combination. Click on the dual combination and you will be able to see something, a chart like this, where the orange colored line chart is representing sales and the blue colored bars are representing the profit. So you can clearly see when the sales was high, the profit, how is the profit perform? So see this, in the month of March, when the sales was also high, the profit also high. You can look at the pattern. In the month of 10th, that is October month, the sales got down. Sales went down, but the profit increased. Profit was still intact. Okay, so this is how we can create or look at multiple variables into one single chart. Okay, so that is where the power comes into this tools like Tableau, data visualization tools specifically. Okay, so without writing a single line of code, without writing a single programming, knowing any background in programming, I was able to do all these things just with single few clicks and few drag and drops and few clicks. I was able to successfully convert and create charts and also able to communicate those insights. Okay. So not only this, not only that you can create some static charts. Okay. It is not just that you are focusing to create some static charts. You can also create some animated charts in Tableau. So let's try to figure out how an animated chart will look like. I'll give you one example. Just look at this. Okay. So if I just select order date, and I'll use sales again, and I'm looking at a month-wise sales. Okay, and then I'll say entire view. Okay, this is a static chart that is displayed. Okay, can see a plain static line chart that is how it is performing, how the sales is performing. Moving on, I want to add some animations to it. So how will I do that? So just look at this. What I do is I select this order date, drag and drop it onto the pages. Okay, so when I do that, I get something towards the top right corner here. But before using that option, what I do is, since I have selected a month here, I will be interested in the month. So I'll just change it to a month. I'll change that to a month. Right? And then what I do now is I'll just play this. So what is happening? If you closely look, if you are able to look at it, this dot very closely, the dot is moving. So let me just increase the size of the dot and you'll be then able to see that. Okay, so let me just, yeah. Okay, just give me a second. I'll clear this and I'll create it once again. Let me just show. So order date, okay, and then sales here. Okay, and then entire view. Then I'll use that order date into this pages. It's giving some error message. Okay, not an issue. Select here as a month. And here also I'll select a month. I'll change the shape of this dot. Okay, I'm not able to do that. Anyways, it is giving some error message. Okay. Okay. So if I try to play this, okay, it is again giving some error message. Okay, unable to complete action. So some basic functionality lag would have been happened. That is why that error message. But otherwise, we were able to successfully create that thing. Okay, so let me just show you with some other example. Let's say I have this category. Okay, and then I have sales. Let's make it to the entire view. Okay, and if I try to now use this order date onto the pages. Okay, so and try to change it to a month. Okay, Now look at this, how the sales are in terms of, so how the graph is changing. So the idea is, instead of creating some static charts, okay, you can come up with some dynamic or animated charts like this. Okay, so the best example was a line chart, but since it is giving some error message, so I have preferred to go with a bar chart instead of a line chart. So that is this idea. Okay, so this is how we animate our charts. Okay, animation charts. So the idea that we have got is that instead of the basic functionalities or the basic types of chart that provides in ShowMe, we are also able to use some advanced level charts. Okay, so Tableau even provides us that functionality to create some advanced level charts. Okay, so that is the power of this tool. Okay, that is the power of this tool. And then after this, let's move on to the next talk. Okay, so once you create your charts, once you are done creating all your charts, the next most important thing that you have to think of while doing is creating a dashboard. Okay, so right now whatever you have created, it is all single chart in one single sheet, one single page. You are creating one single chart. But what is a dashboard then? When I want to show multiple charts in one single place, okay, multiple charts in one single place, then that is what a dashboard functionality is. Let's look at a dashboard, how a Tableau provides us a dashboard functionality. How we can do is, you have an option here, okay, at the very bottom. Okay, you can see three icons there. One is a square box with a plus icon. One is a window. You can see that there is a window, something like this, with a plus icon. And one, there is a book, okay, something like this. Okay, this is one book and with a plus icon. So this, a plain square box, represents a new sheet. Okay, this represents a new sheet. This one, a window, a window kind of a structure with a plus icon, represents a new dashboard. Along with dashboards, Tableau provides one more functionality, which is called as story. So this is a new story. Okay, new story. If I want to create, then I will create that. Click on that. So I want to create a new dashboard. I'll click on this icon to create a dashboard. So what I see is the layout is a bit different. So let me just first set the size to automatic. Instead of a range, I'll go with to an automatic size here. Okay, now let's try to bring some of the charts onto this page. So I'll use this simple bar chart that I've created in the first place. Then second thing that I want is a pie chart here towards the right. Okay, I'm just dragging the sheets. Okay, then the third that I want is a line chart, and the fourth that I want is a map. Okay, I want all these four things in one place. Okay, now if you try to look at this thing, all these charts in one place, okay, what I can see is that it is quite a static. Why I'm calling this as a static? Let me show you one thing. So let's say I want to, from this this page layout, I want to understand what is the, okay, let's say I click on this west region. So what happens? The west region is highlighted in the pie chart. What I want to also see is, when the west region is highlighted, the corresponding bar chart, line chart, and map should also reflect the changes. Okay, so when I see select a west region, so what is the sales that is happening in the west region? Okay, and how is the line chart for that west region? How is the bar chart for that west region? So everything I wanted to set accordingly. Okay, so that is what I am more interested. So how to do that? How to bring that interactivity between the charts? So it is again very simple. It's nothing rocket science over there. So what you need to do? So you can see a funnel option here. Okay, just check this. Whenever you select any chart or any visual, you can see a funnel option. So if let's say if I select this bar chart, I can see a funnel option. The third one, when I select a line chart, again I can see a funnel option, and again I can see a funnel icon. Okay, so let's say I click on this funnel, okay, for all the charts like this. I'm clicking on them, all of them. Now look at the interesting part or the beauty of this. Okay, now if I just select the west region, you can correspondingly see the changes in other charts. When I select the central region, I can see the changes in other charts. My map is changing, my line chart is changing, my bar graphs are changing. Okay, so this way I can do a comparative study, like how the things are, going on in the East region. So if I want to do a month-wise analysis only specific to East region, I can just look at a line chart. How is it in the map? How is it in the bar chart? So in the what I observe in the East region, technology is highest. Then if I select West, furniture, okay, again the technology is highest there. If I just select the central region, I can see that the technology is highest. And if I select the south region, again the technology is the highest. So in any region I go, I am seeing that technology is the highest one. So this kind of an insight, okay, this kind of an insight, if I want to bring in, then I will be going ahead with something called as a dashboard, where you are representing multiple information in a single place. You're trying to represent multiple information in one single place. This is called as a dashboard. Okay, so this is a very simple dashboard that we have created as a part of this entire Tableau learning activity. So there are multiple things or multiple complicated or more complex or more informative dashboards that you can even come up with. So let me just show you one example that I have on my slide, what a good dashboard looks like. Okay, so this is the basic introduction part. So let me just make it a full screen. This is your sheet, how a sheet looks like, the Tableau data types, all the types of data that you have on Tableau. Then how to create a bar chart, how to create a line chart, tree map, word cloud, have a geographic map and a pie chart. You have a dashboard. Look at this. Look at the dashboard that we have created and look at the dashboard that is present on this screen. So if you try to look at the components that are being added onto this dashboard, so you can see some order, okay, or date, basically date slicer. This is called as a slicer. What is the meaning of a slicer? So if I am interested to look at the entire dashboard between a particular range, so let's say I'm interested in only in 2015 and 2016. So I can drag that, I can adjust that slicer to look at a specific data. So this kind of customizations, these kinds of text, okay, all these things. So this is a new chart which is called as a donut chart. Okay, this can be created. Then all these things can see multiple things: a stacked bar chart, a area chart, and then again a stacked column chart, okay, again a scatter plot. All these things grouped in one single page, and that is what dashboarding option that Tableau provides. And believe me, this Tableau's dashboarding option is quite superior, or quite I can say, if you know to do it right, it will change the way that you can present your communications or your insights to the stakeholders or to the audience who are trying to listen to you. Okay, so hence dashboarding is the most important component of any data visualization expert or any data visualization data analyst who is using any data visualization tool. Okay, so that is one example of a dashboard. So if you want to look at more dashboard examples, let me just show you how you can navigate or where can you find additional dashboard examples. Okay, so the answer is very simple again. So you just have to click on this Tableau icon that you see, the very first page. Click on the very first page. Okay, so here if you just see, there is some visualization of the day. Okay, so some trending visualizations. Just click on that. Just need to click on that. And it will take you to some interesting visualizations created by the Tableau community. Okay. So it is getting just loaded, the dashboard. So let me just show you how this dashboard is working. Okay. So if I try to select any particular thing here, if I just select, say, if I remove that, so see that all the corresponding charts are, look at the detail that this dashboard is having. Okay. It's a quite heavy. It's having multiple things into the picture. So again, I can see something like I can select a range of year. Okay. So I can basically, it is not displaying that, but the thing is I have an option to select multiple things. Okay. So basically this is a human resource kind of a dashboard where what is the salary, what is the attrition count, how many people are working in what department. So all these things is provided in this dashboard. Okay. So this is one way to look at a dashboard. Apart from this, you can check out the Tableau public official link. Okay, this is your Tableau public. Just click on this and you will be able to see all the different types of dashboards or the visualizations that have been created by people here across the Tableau community. You can just check and go around and try to build your skills around this, how people are thinking and creating dashboards and how we have to scale ourselves up to create these kinds of dashboards. Okay, so with that, I conclude this year saying that Tableau dashboarding is the most important thing that you have to learn in order to be a successful data visualization expert or data analyst. Okay, so that is what I have. I'm open to questions.
All right, everyone. So time for the Q&A session. You can, in the chat box, let us know all your questions and we'll be answering them for you. And a quick reminder to everyone, if you haven't still clicked on the like button, now is the right time to do it. A quick like and subscribe to the channel and press the bell icon. So Anand, before we actually take up the questions, we want to know a little bit like how did you come into the software industry?
How did I come to? So the journey is quite interesting. So I started my, I mean, my master's post graduation. So when I was into this post graduation, I got an interest in this data field. And then I started to explore more about this, and then I tried to see what are all the different types of skill sets that are needed to develop in order to become a good a person with a good data skills. So that is how all it started. So in my post graduation days, so basically for 5 to 5.5 years back, I started into this field, and then this is where.
Okay. And from starting itself, you knew that you are interested in this coding.
Yes, exactly. So basically, coding is one area which interests me. So it's like when I am on my leisure time. So what I do is I just open up some random notebooks or some random people's codes, and I try to debug or I try to read them, and I try to go through them. So that is how I generated my interest and got to know that okay, I will be exploring. I'll be making a career into this field.
Okay. And how did you get into this training, like teaching others? How did this interest come?
Yeah, so the moment I joined my post graduation, I joined with an intention that I will be taking up this teaching as my career. So but when I entered the actual post graduation stuff, there I got to know more about this training and corporate training kind of a stuff and how that happens. So there I learned that if I want to learn anything, then the best way to learn that is to train and to teach. So that is where I developed an interest in teaching and training also. So by that, I'm helping other people to upskill to these areas. So which gives me a lot of satisfaction at the end of the day.
Amazing to hear that. Like we could feel that all the knowledge that you have, we all are able to learn it. And so moving on a little bit to now the technical part, we have few questions from our viewers. First is that if suppose someone is someone from a non-tech background, like they don't have any knowledge about coding, they're coming from some non-tech background. So
Yes.
will they be able to learn this Tableau from scratch?
Yes, definitely. So if you have followed along this entire tutorial that we have just gone through, so you might have observed that we have not even written a single line of code. And from the start, we were able to create visuals and communicate our insights. So that is where the power of this Tableau. So you don't need any coding or any kind of technical degree or a skill to learn this. You can start from scratch and you can build accordingly.
Okay. So no issues from whatever background you are coming. If you have
Exactly.
the intent to learn, you'll be able to learn.
Yes, you have to have that open mind.
Okay. And then we also have like, suppose someone is learning this Tableau, what kind of job opportunities can they expect?
Yeah, so as I have mentioned that what are the companies that are using right now. So let me just share my screen in that matter to show you an interesting slide where I have showed that. So if you just look at this, the companies who are using Tableau, okay, sorry. So these are the
Yeah, this.
companies, and if you observe the types of companies, the companies are from all backgrounds. So you can see Audi, Ferrari. So they are from automobile. You can see New York Times. It is a media company. Deloitte, Bank of America, Citibank. So which means that you have opportunities not only in a specific area, you have opportunity as a data analyst in multiple different industries as well. So when you come to learning Tableau. And if you look at the very top of the slide, I have written here 50,000 plus customers. So which means that 50,000 plus organization are already using it, which means that it has a huge potential in the upcoming days where we can see the use of this Tableau and data visualization skills definitely go up. So definitely the job opportunity part is open, and it is not just to any specific sector or industry. It is open across industries. So once you have that right skill set, once you develop that, you can apply and just shine in that career.
Wait, like there are many, like there's no limitation. Lot of companies use this. It just depends. You
Yes,
have the knowledge, and maybe if you're
correct.
interested in particular company that you want to work in, then you can try for that company. And
Exactly.
and like, is this software free or paid?
Yeah. So I have in my session I have told how to download the free software. So basically, it is Tableau as a product suite has multiple softwares, online reader, that introduction that I have given. So wherein the Tableau public part, which I was using to demonstrate all those things, it is a free one. So you are free to use it throughout your lifetime. So there is no hidden charges or there are no charges that has to be paid. So you can download it and use it anywhere, anytime, any device.
And like, does this free version have all the features, or is there some other version also?
Yeah. So when it comes to the features part, definitely the paid versions will have bit of extra features. But what I can say is that extra features that the paid versions provide is not a limitation to learn Tableau. When it comes to learning Tableau, the free version provides all the functionalities that you can build yourself, and you can develop the skill sets needed to become a data analyst learning Tableau.
Now we have one more next question, which is, what are the additional resources to get data sets for practice?
Okay, so this is a very interesting question. Okay, so there the question to answer this question, there are multiple websites which provide data sets. So one of the very most important resource that we always as a data analyst we look at is Kaggle. Okay, Kaggle is having any amount of data, any kind of data that you want to work on. So you can just go to kaggle.com, open your account, and download whatever kind of a data set that you want to download. Apart from this, you have something called as data.world, and there you can find a lot of data sets and UCI machine learning repository. So these are the three major data sets, data set resources where you can find a lot of different kinds of data sets. Okay, so the top three. Apart from this, if you just go to Google and search data sets popular datasets, where can I find them? So you'll get a list of all the resources.
We have one question which says how to install Tableau Public.
How to install Tableau Public? So yeah, so just look at this. I will show that again. So it is very simple. Just go to Google. Okay, go to Google, and on Google you just need to type Tableau Public download. When you do that, the first link that appears, the first search link that appears, click on that, and you will be seeing something called as Go to Tableau Public. Just click on this. Once you land onto this page, you have to click. Click on this drop down for create, and you can see download Tableau Public edition. Okay, so download Tableau. So you will provide your details and download the app. And the installation part is as simple as any other software that you.
Okay, that's it. It's pretty simple. Anant has shown you all the steps also. Just you have to fill your details. Just click on the download, and then however you download any software, install it. The same process.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. Then we have next question, which is, should I learn tools like Power BI, Google Data Studio also after learning Tableau?
So this is again a very interesting question, that once a particular person masters a particular tool, whether he want to add other tools to his toolkit. The answer is quite simple. See, it is like if you learn one simple tool, any tool, pick up any tool and learn it. The best tool to start with is Tableau. So pick up Tableau, learn Tableau thoroughly, and when you want to add Power BI, Google Data Studio to your toolkit, what you need to do is just have to go and get accustomed with the platform. Only the functionalities, places of the functionalities will be different. Apart from that, the concepts like how to create charts and everything will be same. So it will not be a difficult thing. Within 1 single hour you can learn all the rest of the tools. So the answer is pick up one tool, just Tableau, the easiest one, and master it, and then you can within a single 1 hour you can add the other tools also to your toolkit.
Okay. Final, we have the last question, which is it necessary to learn all the Tableau products like Tableau Desktop, Tableau Online, etc.?
No, the answer is no, because as I have mentioned in my session, so I have mentioned that the Tableau Public and the Tableau Desktop are the ones which are used for development, meaning that to create visuals. Whereas the other one, the Tableau Online, Reader and Server, are used for collaborations, meaning that when I create a report or when I generate a visual, I want to share it with my organization colleagues. So how will I do that? So that is where this collaboration tools comes into picture. So you don't have to learn anything new there. So the only part that you have to focus on is your Tableau Public thing, where you are actually doing some development of charts and visuals.
Okay. Great. So I hope we have answered all your questions. If there are any more questions that you have, do let us know in the comment section, and we will try to answer them. We'll reply them for you. So that will be it from our side from today. Thank you so much, Anant, for sharing your knowledge here with all of us.
Thank you. Thank you, Rishabh. Thank you everyone for your time as well.
And a quick like, again, a reminder, if you haven't clicked on the like button, a like and subscribe to the channel, and do let us know which next topic you want to learn from Anant in the comment section. We will try to bring that topic for our next workshop. All right, that is a task for you. Which topic do you want Anant to teach next? All right, so that will be it from my side. Thank you all for joining to this workshop. Like, share, subscribe, and yeah, take care everyone, and bye-bye.
Bye.